What's up guys, it's Tommy here and it's a super exciting Liverpool transfer news video on Alexander Isak once again, because the dominoes are falling and Liverpool are preparing a world record, or I mean a European and English transfer record bid for Alexander Isak. And also Alexander Isak and his agent are already discussing about handing in an official written transfer request to Newcastle, and we will explain in this video what is the difference between a verbal transfer request, which Alexander Isak already gave to Newcastle. Alexander Isak already verbally said to Newcastle that he wants to leave the club and he wants to sign for Liverpool. And Craig Hope, who has been one of the most reliable Newcastle-based journalists on this transfer saga, and he has close ties inside Newcastle United Football Club, he said that the Luis Diaz sale to Bayern Munich, which was confirmed yesterday by Louis Steele and many other journalists, that it's a done deal for 75 million euros. I think for a 28-year-old Luis Diaz, that's a great price. And Luis Diaz will travel to Munich today to have his medical, and then he will be officially a Bayern Munich player, and that money will be used to make an official bid for Alexander Isak, because Craig Hope confirms this, that this Luis Diaz sale will formalize Liverpool's offer for Alexander Isak. And Newcastle United are expecting an official approach from Liverpool, with Eddie Howe confirming there is no chance of Alexander Isak joining the Newcastle squad on their pre-season tour in Asia. He hasn't been training. He has walked out after 5 minutes on Monday from Newcastle's training, and he has no intention to ever train again for Newcastle, to ever play again for Newcastle. So Newcastle are braced for an official Liverpool offer for Alexander Isak this week. So Liverpool are preparing a formal bid, and that formal bid will be likely around 130 million pounds base fee, and maybe another 5 to 10 million in add-ons and bonuses. So the total package will be 140 million, and I think Newcastle will hold out for 150 million. And Eddie Howe already admitted that naturally Newcastle, we are going to miss a player of Alexander Isak's quality, and the group are going to feel that. There is no denying that. I can't sit here and claim that the squad won't miss Alexander Isak, but they are a very professional group of players, and they are doing brilliantly as far as I can see in terms of managing the situation. And Newcastle are also pursuing Benjamin Šeško and Johan Wissa, two players that Liverpool are waiting for Newcastle to sign, and after those signings are confirmed, then Liverpool will have basically a free run at Alexander Isak in terms of Newcastle will sell for the right price. And Eddie Howe said, we are not deluded, we know we need to bring players in, we have known that for a long time, we did a lot of work at the end of last season, we knew what we wanted, but it's been a challenging transfer window, and let's see what we can do. So yeah, Newcastle pretty much missed out on every single transfer target, so Liverpool are now relying on Newcastle to get these transfers done. And what is actually good news is that Newcastle United have now entered negotiations with Benjamin Šeško's agents. So Benjamin Šeško's agents and Newcastle are in talks. And once that deal goes through, then Liverpool will have a better chance of getting Alexander Isak, because Newcastle want to sign Isak's replacement first. And Sacha Tavolieri also confirmed that Alexander Isak isn't just a dream for Liverpool anymore, it's a target. The decisive week is this week, where Liverpool are ready to make an official bid for Newcastle. And Fabrizio Romano also confirmed that Luis Diaz will sign a 4-year deal. He's set to complete his medical potentially tomorrow. And over the weekend, Alexander Isak once again has made his stance clear to Newcastle that he wants to leave and he wants to sign for Liverpool, despite his intention to part ways respectfully. Newcastle's resistance and a string of broken promises have pushed him to ramp up the pressure on Newcastle behind the scenes. Eddie Howe has also made his position known to the player and to the Newcastle board. He won't stand in the way. He knows that selling Alexander Isak right now might be Newcastle's best chance to move forward and to get better as a squad of players, because there is no point keeping a player who doesn't want to play for Newcastle who will sulk and who will disrupt the dressing room and who will not put his best performances on the pitch. And Eddie Howe's focus is on improving the overall squad of Newcastle. But the final word comes from the top, from the Saudi owners, and not just Eddie Howe. And the latest news is that Alexander Isak's agent have an official transfer request ready to be submitted, a written transfer request. And it's a different from a verbal transfer request, because a verbal transfer request is basically Alexander Isak telling Newcastle that I want to leave the football club, and it's informal and it gets the conversation started. It doesn't hold any weight on paper. But the official transfer request, a written one, is a formal document that Alexander Isak submits to the club outlining his reasons on why he wants to leave Newcastle. This one is a serious business, and you can make it official if Alexander Isak makes it official through his legal team, that shows to Newcastle that he's serious and he's committed about leaving. And also, he is not entitled to any compensation from Newcastle in case he leaves. But Liverpool still have a lot of work to do in front of them, because Newcastle won't roll over easily. That's understandable. Alexander Isak is their best player, their headline asset. And it's also about the optics of how Newcastle United Football Club looks to their fans and to the rest of the Premier League. So they are fully within their rights to protect Alexander Isak's value and to ask for a fair market transfer fee. The pressure is mounting because the squad lacks balance. They need more attackers and they need a strength centre-back, they need a new goalkeeper, and Eddie Howe knows that they need transfers. And PSR constraints are tight. Alexander Isak's desire for a step up is no longer a secret. The telling part is that Newcastle are now publicly inviting a Liverpool offer, a Liverpool's approach. And there is now a quiet openness to a deal, one that has already been floated through unofficial channels. Premier League season starts in 3 weeks, so Newcastle desperately need to bring in players and to strengthen their squad. And the momentum is building behind this Alexander Isak to Liverpool transfer deal. And I will be honest, guys, I'm absolutely loving every single minute of this transfer window. It's absolutely a dream come true what Liverpool are doing in transfer window. Finally, Liverpool are acting like we are one of the top 5 biggest clubs in the world. And certainly we are the biggest club in the Premier League right now, and we are acting like it. And Newcastle will be better off by selling Alexander Isak. What's the point keeping a player who is unhappy, who won't play at his best, and you won't be able to strengthen other areas of your team if you keep Alexander Isak? And yes, it might take a season or two, Newcastle might take a step back, but if you invest 130, 140 million pounds properly into your squad, and you sign 3 or 4 players that improve your starting 11, and that will lead to further success. And if Newcastle cement their place in the Champions League in the next 3 years by signing 3 or 4 good players, better players than they already have, long term that might serve them better than just keeping Isak. Because Šeško is a great start if they can get him. Visa, I'm not sure if it's sensible due to his age. I think he's 28 years old. But if Newcastle weren't that stubborn and left it so late, they could have had Trafford, who is going to Man City, because when Newcastle was bidding for Trafford, when they were bidding for him, Man City wasn't in the picture, but they didn't offer enough money, and in the end Burnley rejected their offers, and also they were interested in Mark Gay and Scalvini as well. Of course it will be very tough for Newcastle to see Alexander Isak go, and it's understandable they feel like they make a step back, but they need to trust the process. And Liverpool experienced this. We sold Coutinho, we thought that was the end of the world because he was our best player at that time. But little did we know that selling Coutinho was actually the best decision that Liverpool could have made, because we signed Van Dijk, Fabinho, Alisson after that, and we became not just a top 4 team, but a team who won the Champions League, who won the Premier League. Ben Jacobs and Alex Kruk are also reporting that Liverpool remain keen on signing Alexander Isak, but they won't bid blindly. They will only place a formal offer if given encouragement from Newcastle, and at the moment it looks like Newcastle are willing sellers. But Liverpool clearly have encouraging conversations because of the past week's actions from Alexander Isak's camp. But Newcastle are pushing for 2 or 3 attackers, and they are openly inviting this approach this week. Liverpool, of course, are run very smartly, and they already approached Newcastle with an unofficial package of £120 million, and I think Newcastle will start working with that starting offer. Liverpool's focus is firmly on securing a deal for Alexander Isak before turning their full attention to outgoings. Player sales should open the door for an additional centre-back and another attacking option as well. But the main focus right now is Liverpool, of course, selling Luis Diaz and then signing Alexander Isak. And after that, I think we will sell Darwin Núñez and Chiesa and other players as well. Fabrizio Romano also this morning reported that even after Luis Diaz's sale, Chiesa's plan remains to leave Liverpool. He wants to play more, so he will go back to Italy, probably to Atalanta or Napoli. Serie A is still his favorite destination. And what's interesting is that from last year's attack, there might be a scenario where only Salah and Gakpo stays. And Luis Diaz leaves, Darwin Núñez leaves, Chiesa leaves, and tragically Diogo Jota has passed away in that tragic accident, and I dedicate this video to Diogo Jota's memory. Forever Liverpool's number 20. He will never be forgotten, and he will always be remembered. But yeah, that means that Liverpool could have 4 players not in the Liverpool squad next season in the attacking department out of 6. That's a huge turnover. And James Pearce writes, goodbye Luis Diaz, he will be missed at Anfield. And he was pretty popular among Liverpool fans, even though some Liverpool fans underrated him. But he gave us so many special memories. And he leaves behind a legacy that is very, very high, very good. Not as good as Sadio Mane, because Luis Diaz didn't win the Champions League, but Luis Diaz still won a lot of trophies with Liverpool. Let me actually look up his trophy cabinet for Liverpool, because I'm sure that he won the League Cup twice, he won the FA Cup, he won the Community Shield, he won the Premier League, that's the biggest one with Liverpool. And he also didn't win the Champions League. We lost the Champions League final in 2022. But Premier League, FA Cup, 2 League Cups, and the Community Shield. That's 5 trophies. And he also went to the FA Cup final in 25 and went to the Champions League final in 22 as well. So winning 5 trophies with Liverpool in a matter of like 3 or 4 seasons is actually very, very impressive. Yeah, 4 total seasons. And he also, he had his best season last season, scoring 17 goals in 50 games. And overall, he only scored 41 goals in 148 games. Probably that's the reason why Liverpool are willing to sell him, because he hasn't been the prolific goal scorer that Sadio Mane has been all of his career. And Liverpool feel that if we sign a younger version of Luis Diaz, he might become, that younger version of Luis Diaz might become a player who can regularly get 15 to 20 goals from a left-wing position, which is pretty rare, but that's what Liverpool are looking for. And Luis Diaz, the only shame is that he couldn't really say goodbye to the Liverpool fans, because we didn't know that Luis Diaz will leave at the end of the season. But hopefully he will come back one day, maybe as a Bayern player to Anfield, and he can say his proper goodbyes to the Liverpool fans. But I'm sure that he will make an emotional statement about his time at Liverpool, because it has been a lot of ups and downs from Luis Diaz. His family got kidnapped. His father and his mother got kidnapped in Colombia while he was playing for Liverpool. But Liverpool fans always supported him, and I absolutely love Luis Diaz. He was one of my favorite players. His playing style is absolutely the playing style that I love, the direct playing style, running at people, getting past people, the dribbling, the pace, and sometimes the finishing ability was sensational from Luis Diaz. So thank you, Luis, for all the memories, for all the trophies that you gave us, Liverpool fans, and you will never walk alone. You will always be part of the Liverpool family, and good luck at Bayern Munich and win a lot of trophies, just not against Liverpool. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later, guys. Goodbye.